I do wish that we had like that. You know, you can view something in like read mode. Wish that existed. Like in Safari or like on your iPhone, you can like have it switch so it's just like a web page instead of a web page. It's like reading mode, so it
like
puts
HTML,
it like almost like a Kindle. Yeah. And this you have to have it highlighted, which if you're trying to highlight an article, it pulls all the ads, which is what I'm trying to avoid to begin with.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my struggle right now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Welcome to episode 128 of The Bar is Ankle High.
Something about ADHD.
My name is Katie.
And I'm Garet.
It's just been a weird, like, we're immediately recording this after episode 127, but we didn't really talk about everything that happened between early March and mid-April last time.
Whatever do you mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like every month is like a lifetime's worth of headlines and events.
I did see something that was like, without MAGA, 2026 so far would be Bad Bunny and
Artemis.
Artemis.
I saw that. Yeah.
And something else. Oh, Alicia.
Oh, Lou.
Yeah, Lou.
Yeah,
and the Olympics. Yeah.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, well, that's delightful. So like, let's just.
It's kind of like last episode talking about the hydrogen car, and it was like,
yeah.
Oh.
So it was just like, okay, I just need that reframing. Like, if we just deleted one thing,
I just need filters.
One horrible thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So just think of it so far, and I mean, it does include MAGA, but we do have the Pope just taking a huge steaming dump all over Trump and Vance, which is delightful.
The Pope saying, like, look, I'm not going to get into a political pissing match, but also I'm not scared of anybody, was just like, mwah.
There's so many like lapsed Catholics online that are like, am I going to have to start going back to church?
Yes, yeah, I do love that. I do. Or when there was that rumor online that Trump was dead on Easter, and everybody's like, I swear to God, I will go back to church for the rest of my life.
It's so true.
Yeah. I'll just be bummed if he dies while I'm pregnant and I can't drink a bunch of champagne. That'll make me sad.
But if he dies while you're pregnant, then your child won't be born under a Trump administration.
True.
So
that's very true.
Yeah.
Grain of salt.
Yeah. Makes you feel better. I really can't drink anymore anyway. So.
It's like, it's one of those like, I really don't drink very often because I really do prefer to smoke weed. But it's like, when you can't do something, when somebody's like, no, you can't have that, then you're like, well, now I want just a little.
Wanna.
Yeah. Just
I'm putting on more blush because I feel like I'm looking particularly pale.
Yeah, I turned off the light that I have on the laptop and I was like, oh goodness. Okay, turning that back on. I got that blush. Isn't that so nice?
It is. I do
like it.
I wish it was a little bit more powdery, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it does look very nice. It applies very nicely. And it stays on. Like, it doesn't seem to like fall off halfway through the day or something.
Yes.
Like, I swear some makeup is like reactive to oxygen. Like it oxidizes. Yes. So then it just like disappears during the day.
You walk outside and it's like,
and I'm not somebody who touches my face a lot. Like, I would, because I'm like, if I'm just listening, I will put like my hand like this, but I have to type for my job. So I am constantly not available, not able to do that. So I'm not actually touching my face all that often.
I was like, I just need a little bit of makeup so that I can very quickly throw something on and like look together with I don't know, like minimal effort in the morning because I spend all of 5 minutes getting myself ready. So I have been very happy with it in that regard.
I'm going to hold on. I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
So I was like, but it won't let you change that setting while you're recording. Okay. Sorry. We're back.
Very annoying.
That was on me.
Hey, I wonder if now it'll let me do my blur. No, bitch. It's really annoying. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Me neither.
Fuck. Oh, current events. We were talking about current events. And Trump dying and why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. But Mom Dami's killing it. So.
Oh, man. Do we love Zoran?
So much.
What a little sweetie.
Such a cutie patootie.
I was listening to an interview with him on it was, I think Elsa Chang was interviewing him on NPR, and she was saying like, oh, well, now that, you know, like before you and Trump met, like you both had a lot to say about each other, and you know, he called you like a madman and you called him a fascist. Like, she said, now that you've met him, like, how do you feel? Do you still think he's a fascist? And he was like, yes. Which was, it was just honestly just like very satisfying to have someone in politics just be like, yes, I said that and I still feel that way.
Yeah, like not making it like a conditional statement or like, oh, well, there's a lot of different interpretations of fascism or whatever. Like
somebody was talking to Cory Booker recently and was asking him about his AIPAC donations or like money that he's getting from AIPAC, and he's like turning himself in a pretzel. And I'm like, I don't get out. And go home.
He's particularly disappointing given his grandstanding last year. And
I watched a video when he was I think he was the mayor of Newark, and he ran into a burning building to save people. And I was like, this is what we need. We need somebody like this. And then that AIPAC money talks real fast. So
it is a very modern, very documentable example of absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
and it's sad. It's really sad.
And then, you know, and again, it's that thing of like, I'm not like, look, I will be insufferable if I win the lottery. Like, I will be absolutely outrageous. Like, of course. But like, my version of being outrageous is like having like ostentatious, not like
it's I'm gonna buy myself this really nice handbag without thinking about it. It's not I'm gonna accept money from somebody committing a fucking genocide
and then defend it. Like and then try
lobby
to like
for their points.
Yeah.
Like it's so like one of my issues with a lot of these like MAGA grifters, like specifically like Elise Stefanik, or like Eric Swalwell even, it's like where there's no value system driving you. It is fully, I am going to do what's best for me right now, and I'm going to get as much from it financially as I possibly can, and just like use and abuse your way right through. And there's no value system driving your decisions. It is all like truly money talks, and it is just like it's so gross. And
it's very frustrating because it is that thing, and I think across party lines, I think part of how we got here is that everybody agrees, like, wait a minute, I have a household budget, I have to stick to my budget every month. Why doesn't the government? Like, why is their demand for money only going up? Why is it why is there never a road that's just good?
And that's my thing. It's not even how much I pay. It's if I'm paying this, I should be able to get benefits in exchange for that. Like if we're paying this much in taxes, especially not being fucking billionaires, why can't we have health insurance that is standalone from our employer?
Like there's no excuse for Flint, Michigan having a water crisis.
Right. Right. We have enough for bombs.
Exactly. And
lots
like,
and
these
lots
are
and lots of bombs.
fixable things. Like, I'm not saying like, well, you know what would be great is if every car in America was a hydrogen car, but how are we going to implement that? And how would we build that infrastructure? And where are we getting the hydrogen to refuel these? Like all those questions. It's things like, hey, the school district needs new textbooks because the old ones are out of date because so much
like, what about
new
a
stuff has happened. Right. Like, so, and saying like, okay, you know what? The football team is going to have to like chill on the, like, even the scrimmage equipment. Like, you don't need to replace the scrimmage equipment this year because the books inside of the school have to get replaced.
That teach all of the students.
It's just that sort of thing where it's like every person, and again, like, regardless of your party affiliation, everybody understands, like, I have a budget. If I'm saving up to go on a big trip, that's where my money's going to go, versus a year that I don't have a big trip planned, then I can spend on some other things. But like, everybody makes those adjustments as they come. And the idea that like suddenly it, like you said, like, you just become these politicians become these like disgusting, self-serving, you know, greed mongers.
You expect all of them to unzip their skin suit and just a lizard steps out.
Like, at a certain
because
point,
it's like, where's your fucking...
It's like Mars attacks, you know, like at a certain, you know, and
you're just hoarding wealth for yourself.
And again, it's that thing of like, if I win a Powerball jackpot, absolutely, I'm going to, you know, demolish this house, rebuild it, rent it out at a reasonable rate. But like, I'm also going to live in a nice fucking house. I'm going to live in the house that I want to live in, but it's not like I'm going to bulldoze an entire city block so that I can live in the house that I want to live in. Like, I'm not displacing others, which is like, and that's the thing where it's like, I know I'll be obnoxious. I know that I'm going to have, you know, my hair done, my nails done. Everything's going to be like very cute. All my clothes will be tailored. Like, they fit me like they should. Little things that are like absolute luxuries. But like, at the same time, I don't see it being possible to get to that point where it's like, oh, this isn't enough. I'm going to do everything I can to exploit anyone else so that I can have more. And that's like, it's frustrating, I think, for everybody. It's just the solutions that are being offered. You know, part of it is like, we have to vet who's now offering these solutions. But,
it's exhausting. You know. And I just feel like all of this, it just is shifted all to the consumer. So the consumer has to absorb all of the market changes that are happening, that are driving up costs for these companies. And the electric grid needs to be updated. We're going to have to pass that cost along to consumers. And, you know, oh, well, there's tariffs, so our prices have gone up, so we're going to have to I mean, it is like between the tariffs and the cost of food because our climate is changing. Like, we're using too much water for these data centers. Like, it is just like a snowball of like shit rolling downhill, and it is just landing smack dab on the consumer every time. And it is just like so tired. It's just so tiresome. And I'm like, are we not ready for like something better? And that's the only thing I'm hoping comes from Trump era politics, is some of the things that have been dismantled, we can actually build back better and do something.
Your farts are out of control.
Listen, if I had that much movement going on in here, I'd be very happy with it. When those go by, we call them naughty boys in our house. So my daughter will go, "What's that?" I go, "It's a naughty boy," because it's always a naughty boy. You don't see 20-year-old girls revving their engine past the house.
No,
it's naughty boys. It's always naughty boys. So yeah, it is just like, it's just really tiresome. And I'm like, are we not just ready for something that works better? Like, can we just...
Well, and I think we are.
At minimum, are you not just sick of us complaining about these things on a loop forever?
I'm certainly sick of having to complain about these things on a loop forever.
Yes.
But I do think there clearly is a certain amount of a shift happening. Like Mamdani is a perfect example. And Mamdani is forcing the governor of New York, who is centrist at best.
Yes. Like in the grand scheme, she's probably right wing, but it's we just have to take what we can get. Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I mean, she's more conservative than Biden was, and Biden was a dead centrist.
Yes. And also, like, what I think of every time I think of the governor is when we were talking to a friend of ours who works in politics, and you said, "What's wrong with her posture?" And our friend goes, "She's a senior citizen."
Yeah, friend of the show.
I can't literally every time I see Hochul, I think of that, and it just makes me laugh so hard every time. She is because also citizen.
like for those who don't know, Governor Kathy Hochul is the governor of New York, and she colors her hair. I mean, it's our color hair that she uses, but like, yeah, the color,
we probably have more
senior
gray.
Citizen, and like the thought of like just her letting her hair go to its natural color, which also fuck the patriarchy on this, but like just that sort of thing. Like she would never be elected, which also like it's just that again that thing. And she's from Western New York. Like I understand why she was elected and why she's chosen by the
and
Democrats.
The timing, right? Yeah. The timing of when she.
Yeah, she's also the one who put National Guardsmen in the New York City subway. So she's not progressive
and wouldn't endorse Mamdani.
No, she wouldn't. And so now she's like forced to work with him, and it's really forcing her to be much more progressive because you have people in Albany and Syracuse and Buffalo who are demanding that their cities be more like New York City with community grocery stores and free bus fare and all these other things that are, you know, and these childcare credits and things that are actually helping people to work and to, you know, pay taxes and buy things and be part of the economy.
Because people aren't complaining about having to have a job and pay taxes and it's like, no, just meet us halfway and make these things reasonably efficient and inexpensive to have to patronize all the time.
Exactly. And stop when it comes
the bar's ankle high.
Yeah. When it comes to jobs, also, you know, stop telling me that because of inflation, you can't give me a raise or a promotion or whatever, but you're expecting the same, if not more work from me.
We're still going to be giving out bonuses at the end of the year, but
only to certain folks and whatever. But so it's you know, all those sorts of things that you know, I do think and very seriously hope that, especially with we're recording this April 18th, you guys are hearing this like the first week of June, but you know, with the recent AI image of Trump as Jesus resurrecting Jeffrey Epstein, I
think you mean as a doctor.
He was working for Red Cross. You're right.
Florence Nightingale.
But the reaction, especially from Catholic MAGAs, who, even when he was like threatening the Vatican, were like blah blah blah, and then suddenly like you put him in Jesus's outfit, and all of a sudden they're all like freaking the fuck out. And I think even some of the most diehard like evangelical MAGAs I've seen on social media, like they haven't like left MAGA, but they have said like, you know, I am praying that Donald will be, you know, whatever, cured of his whatever the fuck.
Syphilis? No, he won't be.
But
dementia? No.
What did I see? Somebody said it was it was a thing how he said like, oh, it was him as a doctor, and somebody was like, but what if like they told him, oh, just say it was a doctored photo. And he like, because he's so close to death with his dementia, just like flipped that around. And that's why he said that it showed him as a doctor, because he didn't understand that they said doctored photo. Isn't that
totally plausible? Totally plausible.
They said it and I was like, I absolutely actually believe that that's what happened.
Yes, 100%.
That is the most, because at no point do I think, like, never has Trump ever apologized for anything. But like,
which, you know, I'll hand it to
that
him.
Kind of backtracking.
He's not giving fake apologies.
Right.
He's not sorry and doesn't give a fuck.
That's true.
At least it's not fake. It's not like Eric Swalwell's fucking video that he released about how innocent he was. It was one of those I watched. I was like, you are guilty as fuck.
Did you see what he did with the cease and desists?
No.
You hear about this? So the article went live on CNN. And it says like unnamed women, like they're remaining anonymous, blah, blah, blah. He texted, or his attorney texted those women cease and desist letters at midnight to their personal phone numbers, even though they were unnamed in the article.
Aww.
The actions of an innocent man, everybody.
That's definitely something you do when you're not guilty.
Yep.
And then to turn it into like, oh, this is just a MAGA plot to get me taken out. Like, no, motherfucker,
there's two other Democrats running.
Find
like,
out.
What the fuck is the problem? There's two other Democrats, and they're both well situated and qualified to be like, shut up. It's the fucking primaries.
Bye, bitch.
Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
You're lucky we did it now instead of after the primaries.
Later in the game. Yeah. Bitch. Unfortunately, our saltiness towards a lot of the male population has not changed. It's grown, actually.
I don't think that's unfortunate.
I mean, I don't either. Maybe it better be.
Or else give you a knuckle sandwich.
We just did a coordinated. That was so great. I loved that for us. That could be the still for the podcast. Oh my God, knuckle sandwich. Oh my God. I did like, you know, I feel this need to, what do they call them? Like when like feminist microaggressions, like reclaiming things. So like I was walking the sidewalk and there was 3 young men walking towards me and they wouldn't fucking move. So I also didn't fucking move. And I made one of them move. And it felt very good.
I love doing that.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's like last episode we were talking about my car shopping saga. But part of the reason I'm mad at Honda right now, at least the Honda dealership that I deal with, is because a year ago when I was getting my front brakes done, they had asked me about trade-in and blah, 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 and getting in a new car and this, that, and the other. And they told me at that time that my car was worth about $15,000, maybe $16,000. Around the same time, PK was also shopping for a new car because his job was changing and he just needed a new car. So he was dealing with the same dealership, and he like followed up and asked like, oh yeah, they said, you know, this much for her car. Like how much, you know, would it really be? They told him 18. And that really pissed me off that they gave him a $3,000 to $4,000 higher quote than they gave me. And he doesn't own my car. That car is older than our relationship.
When I they had given me an offer and I countered it with a higher number on my car and a lower list price on the new car, and they accepted it. And I was like, I should have asked for more. I was immediately like, fuck. I should have gone up another 1,000 on each of them.
Yeah. So we'll see. I am going to get I
have also walked into dealerships alone and they won't approach me. So that's also a treat.
Yeah. And so that's the other reason that I'm like, I do think I could get everything that I want in the highest trim level at Honda at this point, because I also got them to cave on the trade-in value for my car. Mm-hmm. But on principle, I don't want to.
I know.
So that's the thing where I'm like, I do have to like go where the numbers make sense.
Right. Right.
Like,
which again, it's what sucks about being a consumer right now. Like there are times where it's like, do I want to do this other more ethical version or something that's, better for X, Y, and Z reason? Like 100%. But also like,
yeah, I have money and very little of it actually.
Right. And everything is more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's just, they
keep asking me to continue to pay for things. And I just thought that like,
and then they go,
I've already done that.
Like my car, they're like telling me all about this app, like download the app that goes, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. So it has like remote start on it. If I forget to lock the car, I can lock it. Which I will say one thing, switching from a Honda to a Toyota, my Honda, I would just have my keys in my purse and I could just walk away from the car and it would lock. And my Toyota doesn't do that. So I have to like remember to lock it, which is a problem when I haven't had to do that in years.
I still have to affirmatively lock my Honda because it was so much older than yours. So
well, my old one
crazy for me,
was a 16 that I had for like, I don't know, I had that for like 8 years. And then
no, I know. I'm just saying like the like
it's a harder transition because I had it. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a change for me, but PK's car does what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it is a very nice feature to just like
it's great. Away. But now I'm like, I also thought this app was so great, but then I actually looked at it and I was like, this is only available for 11 months. You're only giving me the option with the app for 11 months and then I have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. But the capability is there. I just paid a fuck ton of money for this car and you're going to make me pay for this app after 11 months? Mm-hmm. If I have to pay for one more motherfucking prescription,
and it's like $15 a month or something. Like, it's not it's not like okay,
it's like another streaming service,
right? Like if it was like $2.99, sure, whatever,
right? But
like,
no, I was like
a hackable thing. Cool, thanks.
Right, and also the dealership, as they're like getting me all set up and making sure I'm all connected, mentions nothing about this. I noticed it when I started setting everything up. I was like, so you didn't even fucking... And I'm not thinking to myself, like, I should ask if this is subscription based because I feel like at a certain point, it's like, can I lock my car? I don't know. Did you pay your fucking monthly subscription fee? Like, it's just crazy. So yeah, I'm, let's just burn it all to the ground. Start over. Because this is not a good system.
Yeah.
This is not a good system.
No, I agree. I think, what they need is to like just have a couple women from 35 to 45 with children and without, with jobs and without, different education levels. That's who
we're just going to round table this.
We just need to really make these decisions. We need to be the decision making committee for everything, and consider the workable life that we want to live.
Give me like 5 Leslie Nopes and we could literally fix everything.
Oh, in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
And we'd have waffles.
Yeah. Yes, with whipped cream. I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired of it. It's like like even listening to the news and they'll be calling this the war in Iran. And I'm like, this is unsanctioned.
Yeah, it's not a war.
Congress never voted on this. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, I literally, every time they say war.
Although now we voted to not stop it. Thank you to the Democratic representative from Maine.
I love this loophole system that we have. Yeah, I literally I listen to it and I'm like yelling at the thing because I'm like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it is a war and we're terrible and, can acknowledge at face value all the bad things, but also the process for declaring war in this country has to fucking go through checks and balances. And we just have this dementia soup in the fucking White House.
Yeah, I just think if there's somebody who can't tell the difference between doctored and being a doctor, that perhaps that person should not have the red phone on their desk.
Yes.
That
casually tweeting that he's going to end a civilization. Like,
right. Like if you're going to be sundowning every night and, declaring effectively nuclear war.
Yes.
While we sleep, and then we're all just waiting to see if
what you're going to do.
8 o'clock on a Tuesday, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
You know,
when you make me clap for Tucker Carlson, I'm mad at you.
There's so many posts. There's
why am I saying thank God a voice of reason? Tucker Carlson is here.
If you guys are not on Threads, you need to be.
I do.
I understand it's a meta
much.
product, but there's so often. I saw a post the other day where this woman was talking. Apparently, a woman based on the name, I believe, was Andrea or something like that, and then the picture with the profile was that of a female or female presenting person. But she posted something about how child support, like taking her tax refund, is legal robbery. And all the comments were like, hey, how dare you make me agree with a man?
Yes, that's kind of.
But like all the posts that are like, don't make me defend a man. Don't make me do that.
Trump era politics means that I'm hearing John Bolton and Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes saying things, and I'm like, that's a solid point. That's a fucking solid point. People who but again, there's a value system that is driving this decision making, right?
That's what got Kirk assassinated. Was him saying that we need to stop giving money to a genocidal nation in the Middle East.
It's just like it's like on
that,
those,
and
Am
his
I the
wife
asshole?
Wanted to hook up with JD Vance, but
definitely
allegedly.
But it's one of those like Am I the asshole posts where somebody writes like everyone sucks here, like everyone sucks here,
except for me. I am very cute.
I'm an angel. I could never do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're doing great. The world's going great.
Yeah. Can't you tell? Can't you tell?
We're waiting for syphilis soup to kick it, and for the inevitable feeding frenzy that will happen when he dies.
Feeding frenzy.
Yes, flute fries. Because that shit is just gonna. There's nobody.
Oh, it's gonna be
Nobody's gonna be able to win over his people. But him, because it's a cult.
What is it? But like baiting piranha infested waters.
Yes. And like bones come out. Like no one's gonna survive that. It'll be a bloodbath. Can't wait. Personally, I just wish that I could be a fly on the wall. It's kind of like when January 6th happened, and then they had those hearings, and you were like getting the inside scoop from people that were like in the White House as he's throwing the ketchup at the wall, and it's just like I've been waiting for this for years.
For sure.
I can't wait. So I do know when things inevitably fail, because they will, because it's destined. I just will look forward to hearing all of the hot goss that comes out of the White House.
I think
it was very satisfying last time.
That could heal us as a nation is just declassifying everything.
Yeah.
Just declassify it all. Yeah. And we'll start over. Like
start fresh.
Yeah, right. Declassify everything. And then from now forward, okay, now we can have new classified files.
Yeah.
Different standards and everything, but like everything before, like let's just air it all out.
Yeah. Shake it out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like flipping a bed. You gotta flip it around sometimes.
Yeah.
And do that. And then we'll regroup.
And we'll try again. That's what I say to my daughter all the time. Do we need to just take a minute? Let's take a breath. And then we'll try again.
Okay.
It's never okay. But yes.
I was trying to describe to PK the other day how when I went over to pick up the potatoes from you, so Garet gave me some potato sprouts to put into my own garden, and so I stopped by after work to pick them up, and your daughter was like very upset that I was not coming inside.
Yeah, but also if I walk inside to grab something, she's screaming because she doesn't want to go inside.
Yeah, I was like, okay, bye, baby. And I like waved goodbye. And she was like immediately, like red eyes, like the lip went out. And she was like, well, I was like, okay, well, you didn't speak to me for the first 5 minutes I was here. But okay, bye.
You never know what you're going to get with a toddler.
Yeah.
On the edge of your seat all the time.
Although PK said this is the age where he prefers children. So he's like, now the kid is
He
cool
can't
again.
wait to start a family.
He's like, this kid is like cool now. Like, because like up until this point, it's something that you can't play with, apparently. Meanwhile, I'm like, give me a baby under the age of 1 every day.
Once they're mobile, man, it's in a whole different ballgame.
I just love that little scrunches.
I was
to cuddle a cat.
I was just talking to a friend of mine who's got a baby who's like around 1, and we were talking about the stage of life where they are the same size as a toddler and almost as strong as a toddler, but they don't self-propel yet. And you're just carrying around a chimp all day. And I remember it was the winter time. We had just moved, and my daughter weighs about the same as she does now, but didn't walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I've mentioned before, our house has a lot of stairs. And constantly having to pick her up and lug her around it just like physically wears on you after a while.
It's also the time the age where I remember always getting like a fat lip from a kid that I'm holding because they like swing their body around and they just like manage to like hit your mouth and your teeth at like just the right spot. So it's just like the worst. And then yeah, you can't drop them because they get mad when you drop a baby. And yeah.
I've been headbutted in the eye. Actually, she threw an insulated cup one time and it hit me in the eye. And I thought I was going to have a black eye. I had a small bruise. Yeah, headbutted in the mouth, nose. It's really, it's real time. Toddlers are so much fun. She is getting to the point though where she's like starting to get herself dressed and undressed, and so she's becoming a little bit more independent. So I think that's good timing for to start over.
One.
Yeah, and start this whole process
like
again.
She's able to kind of entertain herself when she's outside. It seems like
no, she can't. Absolutely cannot. But we're getting there. At least she's at the point where she's not like constantly falling like face first or putting rocks in her mouth.
Yes, so that's more what I meant. Is like she can kick a ball and go off and you don't have to be like
oh no, I definitely still do because she will climb things.
Well, yeah,
but or
that's on you up. For putting in a jungle gym. Like that's on you.
Climbing the hose reel, she was convinced because it had wheels that she was supposed to get in it, so she just kept climbing it. And I was like, no, I get what you're saying.
She's like the worm from Busy Town.
Yes. I was like, wheels. I get what you're saying.
I'm supposed to sit inside this thing.
However, that's not how this works. So you can't sit on it. And I was obviously lying to her. So
well, I've always said that.
Yeah.
So
and my joke is usually that like I'm clearly trying to poison her, which is why all the food I give her is like, must be poisoned, which is why she won't eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, toddlers are.
You did try to put glass in her sourdough that time.
I did. I did. I really did. Started off with the hand sanitizer and just kept on plowing through.
It's really not on her that she thinks you're poisoning her.
Yeah.
Like in utero, you were doing your best.
I was eating hand sanitizer. I still haven't told the OB about that. Actually, I probably should tell her now because she would laugh at it.
She would get a kick out of it now.
And I think also now that she's in her own practice, I've noticed her bedside manner has softened a lot and she's slowed down a lot, even though I think she's way busier.
Yeah, but it's like on her terms.
She's in her own space and you can tell she's really, because the first couple times I met with her, I was like, oh my God, she just made me like very anxious about things.
Yeah. Which is what her, like the Google reviews would say about her in the past. Which I'd never had that experience, but I've also never been pregnant. So I never had any reason to see that side of her.
Right.
From a clinician standpoint, it was always a very straightforward pap smear and pelvic exam for me.
Right.
So
yeah, she's definitely like I had an appointment with her the other day and I get very anxious. It's very I had lost a lot of weight before having kids, and gained a lot of it back when I had my first child. And this time around, I'm like, I just don't want to gain as much because it just makes it that much harder postpartum. So, and like getting older, it's hard to lose weight. So I've like really been trying to be like very active to like eat well. Like, but the flip side of that is I am also not going to not eat and over exercise and do any of those unhealthy things.
The things that I used to have to do to lose weight previously.
Right. Yeah. So it's
you
just
could
that
just have
constant
surgery. I did it.
What's another abdominal surgery? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you're already in there. Like,
can you also give me a tummy tuck and do gastric bypass?
Yeah, just reorganize my intestines. Like,
yeah, that's
you already pulled them all out anyway.
You did. You pulled everything apart.
Yeah. Easy.
So I think I was just very anxious going into this appointment. Like, oh my God, like, because it's a terrible feeling going into the OBs and having some, like, I literally at my maybe 12-week appointment with my first daughter, the nurse practitioner that I saw said, asked me if I knew about healthy eating, because she felt like I had gained too much weight in my first trimester or whatever. Like when you can't move and if you don't eat, you feel like you're going to throw up and then you will throw up.
Right. But also like, because you already have high blood pressure, assuming she didn't know your history with like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, if she was just like seeing that suddenly on your chart, I can understand her being concerned. However, not the time.
I don't think she read my chart. I think she literally just came in and was like, no, gained too much weight. And it was one of those like, so I don't see practitioners like that anymore.
Yeah. My surgical follow-up that I had earlier in April, he like gave me a chart that shows like target weight loss, like for a certain number of months after surgery and whatever. And he was like, but before he gave it to me, he's like, is it going to like mess with your head if I give you this chart? Like he checked. Yeah. Because he was like, I don't want to like give it to you if you're going to like focus on it and think that like that's the measure.
But now that I know there's a chart, I'm going to do that anyway. So just give me the chart.
That was pretty much how I didn't say all that.
In my head, I'm like, well, now I have to see it. It's one of those like, I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to tell me.
Either you give me this chart or I go online and I find a definitely worse one.
Yes. So yes.
You might as well give me the one you want me to look at.
100%.
But I
appreciated
him checking in and
yes,
because there was a time in my life where that really would have controlled every decision I made.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Absolutely. Whereas, doing all the work that I've done mentally, in the past 10 years, basically, has really changed my relationship with that. But if I had been asked that question 10 years ago, it would have put me right in a spiral. So I can only imagine.
I go into them like with very defensive, like I already have my case planned for myself,
Yeah.
When it, like logically in reality, I feel like your body responds the way your body responds. Like,
yeah. Especially for something that is so biologic that like it really, so little of it can be controlled in the first place. But it's also just a biological reaction at all. Like it's like going through puberty. Like
right. And I feel like I only have
how
so
it
much
happens
control.
Is how it happens. Either you're somebody that gets a ton of acne or you're not. But that doesn't mean that you're not going through puberty the right way.
And some people, when like myself, hormonal changes have a huge impact on my weight.
Yeah.
So I was just like very anxious going into it, and there's a medical assistant there, and I stepped on the scale backwards because I was already at the point where I was like, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
And she was like, good job. That is so healthy. And I was like, thank you so much.
Her.
And then I went into the appointment and the doctor was like, she came in and sat down and was like, you look great. Okay, you're feeling good. Like checking in on some things. She's like, this is great. Like no reason for concern right now. Like, and then she goes, can I give you a hug? And I was like, yeah, always. So it was it was such a different experience.
I have to call them and get my shit transferred.
Yeah, they're great. I love The Office. Like really. And there's people...
I appreciate the Crypt Keeper at the old place, but especially since our NP retired, it's like, what? I don't want to go see a different
And
NP.
that's why I was going to stay for her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know she's close to retirement. Like, I'm going to switch over.
Yeah.
And I miss her a lot because she was the best.
She was so good. She was just, it's like that thing, like every once in a while when you like meet somebody, like you meet a teacher, like Miss Rachel. Like Miss Rachel is doing exactly what she was born to do.
Yes.
And like that nurse practitioner was doing exactly what she was born to do. Like you can just, she had like such an intuitive way of handling everything, of explaining things, of answering questions. It was just like, it makes me so happy to see somebody doing what they love, because
that's what like this doctor
rare.
in her own setting now is, it's a completely different clinical experience dealing with her.
Well, you said you loved her when you were in the hospital. Like
she was
how
great.
She was so different in the hospital than when she was in the office. So I think that the office setting was very stressful for her.
Yes.
I would think.
And now she refers her, like anything that's like of concern or higher risk, she refers to this maternal fetal medicine place at the hospital, which is a new building. It is super easy to get in and out of. And I had to have a couple of procedures done there, and the entire team of people that we had were all young women. Oh, so it was just like, and like so gentle. Like I was very anxious going into the one because there was something that had to like go through my cervix. And I've had, I mean, you name it, like invasive pap smears, colposcopies, like IUDs.
That's immediately what I think of, is like, if you're putting something through my cervix, it has to be like an IUD, like, because the descriptions of that are horrific.
Yes.
Even when I maintain they should not be.
Right.
Either you need to make an IUD that's smaller yet effective, or figure out a different way to do that.
Or you need to be doing like an outpatient where people are giving like an anesthetic. Yeah. Because it telling me that I need Advil. I mean, I
get out.
Feel like I'm fairly tough and I can endure like a fair amount of pain before I'm like really hitting my max. And I literally was like pale, white-lipped, almost passed
like
out.
Green, yeah.
Yeah. And then they fucking left the room for me to get dressed. And I almost fell and like concussed myself because I'm like bending over and standing up quick. And I mean, it's like, it's dangerous. So it's just one of those like, it's so bad.
Okay, so 2 stories. I had a friend who had a colposcopy and passed out during it.
Fair.
And
painful.
They used smelling salts to bring her to, but she was so out of it that she like took it out of the nurse's hand and put it in her mouth. So then she had a burn on her tongue from the smelling salts because she was so like, she fainted. So she just was delirious when she first.
It's also a setting where they'll frequently will give you like a lollipop or something. So you have something sugary. Well, and you can't choke.
It's next to it's a hand in front of your face, like holding something. So
rock candy.
So there's that. And then I have a different friend who had a uterine ablation, which for folks who don't know, it's basically a sterilization procedure, but they insert a balloon into your uterus and then fill it with boiling water to scar the lining of your uterus or the interior of your uterus so that you are not able to produce a uterine lining that can sustain a fertilized egg. It's also used to help folks who have really extensive bleeding or whatever. This person is a lesbian. There was no risk of like fertilization, but she just didn't want to have periods anymore. So they did not give her. They gave her like oxy for that procedure. They did not put her under. They gave her an oxy or like a Tylenol with codeine or something. And she was like, I was really loopy. And I was like, not enough.
Yeah. And I also had to, when I was going through fertility treatments, I had to have a procedure where you go in for an x-ray and they put a balloon in your uterus and inflate it. And it's not for like a second. They do it for like several minutes so they can get all of the pictures that they need to get to make sure that like structurally that your uterus is like sound for a pregnancy. So it was just, I went into this like absolutely dreading it because I was like, man, this is just like women's healthcare. Like I'm just forced to like fucking endure. I mean, you know, we lost a pregnancy and initially everything was going to be in the hospital under general anesthesia and, you know, straightforward. And I wound up having to be at home doing things myself. And they give you Advil and Tylenol, and that's it. So it's just one of those, like, they would never do this to men. They would never do it to men, to go home and endure something on your own like that.
Yeah. And clearly that standard of care has not been set by women, let alone women who have gone through that procedure.
Right.
And are able to actually like speak from experience. It's just set. So like it's almost like they're assuming drug seeking behavior as if somebody would go through a DNC just to get pain meds.
And there are plenty of DNCs that they do without general anesthesia, which is just like the degree to which that is horrifying. Or a uterine ablation. I mean, so that's why I went into this, like, just bracing myself, like, knowing that you have an appointment coming up that could be extremely painful and also kind of dangerous was just like
that. The woman Kelly Girardi, who just had her baby. She was like one of the astronaut ladies, and she had like 8 years of secondary for infertility, and like went through all these different in vitro procedures and all these things. She actually just launched like as a push present for herself. It's like a grant to help other people have fertility treatments so that they can have kids. But she had her kid, gave birth, went home, and then was admitted back to the hospital for like 3 or 4 days because she like there was more like placenta or whatever in there that they had to get out. So she was like turning septic. So they like gave her Pitocin.
And probably also contracting.
Right. And so they were giving her Pitocin to induce more contractions to try to get it out and like all these different things. But it makes me think too, if you ever watched the show Outlander, there's a scene where the main woman, Claire, she has a pregnancy loss, but she's like a little bit further along. I want to say like maybe 5 or 6 months ish. So there was like something to deliver. Like she went into labor early, basically, is how they put it in the show, but presumably went into labor because the fetus was no longer viable. But she was, because it was the 1700s, the hospital was like run by nuns and was pretty much just the basement of the church. And this like herbalist, this apothecary guy, like she had this like horrible fever, and she was trained in modern medicine. And if you don't know the story of Outlander, I'm not going to explain it to you guys. It's a quick Google, but there's like a time travel aspect. So she was trained in modern medicine. That's all you have to know. But it's like that thing of like, how would you describe to somebody, hey, there's like some extra placenta still stuck in my uterus. I need you to get, like, how do you describe that to somebody? They don't know like, to the extent that they know what a placenta is, they don't know how to go back in and get it. Like, so this herbalist, it's obviously guy,
the demons.
Right. But this herbalist guy understood what was happening and why, because I think they were saying also that she was just like struggling with the loss of the child and it was just depression or whatever. And but she was like hallucinating, like her fever was so high. So he went in with his hand into her vulva and like was like with the other hand like massaging her stomach and like got the extra piece out so she like healed. But it's like that sort of thing that I'm thinking of when they're like, and she did that without anesthesia, of course, because it was the 1700s. But it's like, hey guys, it is also it's the same thing with the cars. It is 2026. I refuse to accept that cars, like that AC is a luxury item in a car. I refuse to accept that having general anesthesia or at least twilight anesthesia for these types of procedures is asking too much. I refuse. This is ridiculous. Are we a first world country or not? I mean, we're not, but like if we're going to advertise ourselves as that, we could at least pretend in these big moments.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I had to have they were telling me I was going to probably have to have a colposcopy done a while ago. And
I thought you meant like after.
No.
like DNC, and I was like, why?
Years ago. And I asked if I could have like something for pain, like like a lidocaine or, you know, like a local injection. And there was only one doctor in the practice who would do that. One. And it's one of those like, why?
Again, like, so, and that's the thing too, because it makes me think that like the only reason that we get Novocaine in dentistry is because it's harder for the doctor if we're moving around because of the pain.
And biting.
Right. So like, again, it's that like, we just need to be more disruptive, I think is the thing. We need to be kicking like, more.
Anytime I have to go for anything, like, I mean, when I had the pregnancy loss, I went to leave the hospital and I was like, I need something more than Advil and Tylenol. I said, every time I have anything happen, I'm told that Advil and Tylenol should be enough. And don't get me wrong, super effective, especially when you like overlap them, take them together. But
this is not a headache. This is not
right.
body aches from the flu. This is right. a medical situation.
You know, when they give you misoprostol, it's causing you to have contractions. So I was like, I'm going to need, and they gave me, you know, now post opioid crisis, but like in this era, 5 milligrams is how much they will give you. And they'll give you like 3 of them. Which, whatever. Yeah. It was enough. It was enough to get me through like the worst of it. But it's one of those, like, I had to ask for that specially and kind of insist on it. So it was, I was really braced for much worse. And the experience was quite literally painless. It was more uncomfortable having to have a speculum in while my bladder was full. And then having somebody do an ultrasound at the same time, so it's like pushing on your belly. That was more uncomfortable.
With your full bladder is the
with a speculum was really a joy. A joy.
I had to have an ultrasound with my bladder of my uterus with my bladder full at one point. Not because I'm pregnant or trying to be, just checking in on things, I guess. Whatever. But yeah, the having to have a full bladder. Nightmare. Absolutely.
Well,
even
and if
with
you tell
the
me
probe like version,
yeah,
like at least I guess you're not pushing down on the top of my stomach, but like all I can think the entire time is don't pee.
Well, and
it's the worst.
When you tell me my bladder has to be full, my brain does the ADHD thing where it's like, well, it has to be. I have to be sweating.
Full that a bladder has ever been full. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then I go in and they're like, can you pee a little and just like be less full? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
But also then I'd just be like, did I pee too much? I don't know. What do you mean by pee a little? I can't promise that I can turn the faucet off immediately.
Right. And in the old office I used to go to that was terrible, there was one time where I had to go for some kind of ultrasound. And I think it was after I had ovarian cyst rupture. They wanted me to come back so they could like check and make sure everything looked okay. And it was like, oh, make sure you have a full bladder. And my bladder wasn't full enough. And I got like scolded and they sent me out to the waiting room to sit and drink water. And drink water. And then they would try again and scolded me. So now when I go, I'm like, all right, it's been a challenge. I can't sit still and I'm sweating. My bladder's super full. I did all the things.
I have to sit on a puppy training pad in my car in case I hit a pothole on my way over
Truly.
Here. But I am ready.
Oh my God. So yeah, it's I've been very pleasantly surprised this time around. That it's been less I have felt less judged this time through pregnancy, I think.
Because now we know you're a slut.
So yes. And it's also like, I mean, a bit of me knowing what to expect, but also knowing like being able to kind of choose practitioners a little bit and have a little bit more know when somebody is being an asshole and it's not that this is how it is. So,
yeah. Which also, is one of those things that definitely comes with age, which, even just feeling comfortable enough to ask questions, let alone like demand, a different provider or to seek out a different provider. Mm-hmm. And then you look at like, these folks that are pushing for women to get pregnant as young as possible for the most part. And you just think of like the, I know it was news to you, but like when the baby eats your brain anyway, as you're gestating, and then you're doing that to somebody who does not,
their brain hasn't finished developing.
Right. Their brain is still trying to grow in the first place. And then you're also, it sets up perfectly those scenes from The Handmaid's Tale when they're at the doctor behind the veil.
Yes.
And where it's like no questions or whatever. Also, have you started watching? There's a new Handmaid's Tale series.
It's too heavy for me right now.
It's not so bad yet. I've only watched the first couple episodes, but it's about Agnes. Like they go back to get Agnes.
Oh yeah. No, I did. Like
initially
I
was watching it and I was like, Agnes, that was the blah 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 name. And then like there was something else they showed and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is definitely Agnes. And then they like showed June at some point and I was like, oh okay, I was right.
Yeah, it's
I'm smart.
It's just like it was heavy before having children, but now I'm like, I'm just not. I mean, I can't handle. I just feel like life is so heavy right now. Like I had somebody walk by me at work and I was on lunch reading at my desk and they were like, oh, what are you reading? And I was like, no, it's embarrassing because I can't read anything real. I'm reading about fairies right now because I can't read real things.
Are you reading Fairy Smut?
Yeah, but it's not, I would say it's light on the smut.
Is it The Court of Thorn and Roses?
Yeah. Okay. I'm like almost done with the third book.
Oh, cool. I don't know that one's embarrassing because like everybody loves it.
Everybody loves. I mean, I don't think it's worth like loving. But it was definitely
True Blood.
Yeah, when I was like, 18, 19, that was. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there was an entire book of we're going to go to war. There's going to be a fairy war. We're going to war, and then you're like 2/3 the way through the book and you're like, okay, but when are we doing that?
Yeah.
So I just can't handle stuff that's like, I'm like, man, life's fucking serious enough right now. I need something. I need love on the spectrum. That's what I need.
So I did not prepare anything for today.
I do have an article.
Okay.
Yeah. That I wanted to talk about. I saw this headline: children with ADHD report applying less effort on cognitive tasks compared to their peers.
Ooh.
So this is a very small scale study. Like I think it was only like maybe 100 kids, 80 children. And it was about 50-50 neurotypical versus kids with ADHD or some kind of attention deficit diagnosis. They gave them 4 different cognition tests that no one was like harder than the other, but they asked the kids to like rate how difficult the activity felt. And they found that the kids with ADHD reported putting less effort into activities compared to the neurotypical kids. And it was like consistent over all of the activities.
This is why my brother got in trouble in school because he'd finish his work and then would like be distracting.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, I was surprised. I'm not surprised in the sense that like I was the type of student that would like really force myself to pay like really close attention in class and like sit right in the front and take really good notes and then not study for a test because I was retaining. I would just like flip through my notes. I was like retaining and I was writing it down. So I was remembering it. And I made sure when I was in class, I was like asking questions so I understood conceptually. But then it was like goodbye and left. People would be like studying the night before a test and I wouldn't really be studying because I also didn't care that much. So it was interesting to me in the sense that I feel like we've talked a lot about the tendency to be very self-critical with ADHD, and especially when you like know that you have ADHD and you're neurodivergent and how much more effort things take. and that things do take more effort, a lot of things. But I think also if you don't have the kids talking about it, like how many times I left a test and I was like, and other kids would be like, that was really hard. And then suddenly I was like, oh, fuck, did I bomb it? Because I didn't think it was that hard.
Test I've ever taken. Every single one.
Right. You would talk to somebody who was like a good student who was neurotypical, who would be like, oh my God, that was so hard. And I was like,
again, like, because, you know, I'm sure we've talked about it, but like neurodivergent people are better at recognizing patterns. So when you're sitting in class and you hear your teacher say, hey, remember this for the test.
And you you figure out that teacher's pattern.
Yeah.
Like I had a professor in college who it took me a while. I did like 2 or 3 classes with her. I never had a good grade in any of her classes. Like I would get like a B-, but I knew I fucking busted my ass for that B-. Like I worked really hard for that. So I was never upset about my grade. Ultimately, she was just a very hard professor, was brilliant, but she would give very specific economic examples in class and would expound on it and explain the whole thing. And then you would get an essay question on her test that was asking for one of those examples. So I started recording her lectures. And if I knew I had a test coming up, I would go to the lecture where she talked about whatever example and I would listen to it before I went into class. And then so it was like, once I figured out, and you're right, the pattern, I was like, oh, okay, I know how to take her test now. Whereas other kids were like, this is fucking, I can't do this.
My torts
her tests are, and then she was a bitch because her tests were hard, you know?
Well, right. My torts professor in law school was like that. Because he practiced for quite a long time in products liability stuff. So like whatever. So he'd have all these stories, like stories of why there's lids on your washing machine. Because, you know, he had a story of the agitator the top of the agitator coming off during a spin cycle and severing someone in half. And like...
Oh my God, like tell me every one of those stories.
He'd have all these stories.
Yes.
And then there'd be these essay questions. And law school, like you get the one test. There's one test a semester. Right. That's your grade. Right. But he'd have like, there'd either be like a multiple choice or an essay question on it. And there'd be like these little like Easter eggs of the lecture. And it was like something that he had explained as part of his practice. And
how she was. Yeah. It was like,
yeah, like it's just those sort of things. But yeah, I think because we find those patterns and that's what we look for. Again, I think our brains are much more malleable because we're looking for that easier path because it's so hard to like channel whatever executive functioning we do have access to.
It's either this or it's this.
Right.
It's either a ton or none.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good to know that that's confirmed.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like they're saying that obviously like this is shedding light, obviously very small scale study, but it's shedding light on the fact that there may be there's definitely important factors that are not captured by like scores and scantrons. Right. That there's a lot more context and complexity. Like even when politicians will have like that guy, James Tallarico, who was running in Texas, he did an interview with somebody and they were like complaining about SNAP. Fucking real nerve.
Right.
But he was basically like, hey, like I was a teacher for years. He said, and I can tell you when a kid comes into school and they haven't had a good breakfast, they can't focus. He was like, so, you know, oh, what about Jesus teaching you how to fish? He was like, right. But like when Jesus was teaching somebody how to fish, they had breakfast that morning.
Right.
He was
and
like,
was he teaching an 8-year-old how to fish?
Right.
Or was he teaching an 8-year-old their times tables?
Right. So it's just like one of those, like there's so much context to it. Or if, you know, if another classes, there were some times where there's classes that I wanted to get more out of, but I had another class that was incredibly demanding and was sucking up a lot of my time. And I couldn't get as involved as I wanted to in this class that I like genuinely found interesting just because it was just like how it was. So there's like a lot of context that goes into things. And I think that context with ADHD is like very relevant. Because there are so many variables all the time in how much attention we can give something or how well we can regulate our attention at that exact moment.
And we're such literal little freaks because we're so concerned about getting the direction wrong or whatever, doing it wrong.
Drinking so much and having our bladder so full that we're sweating.
Yeah.
And they tell us
eyeballs are floating.
Yes. They're like, can you pee so we can see your uterus, please? Like I
thought this was a max capacity test. So
this is an endurance test, right?
What I'm hearing is I came in first place. I will take that in ribbon or trophy form.
Did I complain the least of all the patients? Does that make me the best patient? I think I win the award. So it's just one of those, like, I think if anything, if like we're going to show that there's a lot more context to it. And like there would be a huge difference between administering this and doing all of these back to back versus doing 2 and 2 and giving a break in between, or doing 1 and a break and 1 and a break. Like, I mean, my ability to focus when I'm on the third task might be garbage. And maybe I perform worse, even though there's no difference in difficulty.
Well, and especially though, if it's like, I know once I finish this task, I get ice cream or like whatever I get to go to recess. Like because I can also be extremely like slapshod with my work if I'm just trying to like get it done and get it out the door.
Kind of I will say a downside of this is they only tested boys.
What? That's the first time that has come up on this show. Wow.
I know. They didn't even test girls. It's like, you see those tweets float around periodically where they're saying how like the predominant thought, because we only pay attention to men's health, was that you grew out of ADHD because men were then able to just delegate all these things they had trouble with to their spouses. And then they didn't have to do all of those things.
Yeah, I saw that tweet and screamed.
Yes. Same. Especially when you live in a double neurodivergent house. It's one of those like, that's not going to fly. We're not going to do that. And I think it also, like, it speaks to this. Like, obviously, this is not a lack of motivation. If they're rating this as being less challenging than these neurotypical kids, in addition to that fluctuating focus, because I can give you great focus for a really short period of time, just not sustained.
Right.
And obviously, I can't regulate, which means it's not me being lazy. It's it's the feral squirrel that can't be controlled, scratching around in my head.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do with it other than just let it scratch? It's that squirrel from it's the squirrel from Ice Age in my brain with the little fangs.
Right.
Just like
casually
around.
Causing an avalanche.
Yes. That's exactly it.
Pangea to split up.
Yes. That's what's happening in my head most days. And there are times where like my ADHD and anxiety have been, I would say worse, where it felt like bees, like a swarm of angry bees in my head. But now most times it's just like this really clumsy squirrel causing an avalanche accidentally.
Yeah.
But it's free, And that's what, like, I think it was last episode I was saying, like, I'm not in a stage where I'm trying to control any of my ADHD symptoms, because that's also probably how I'm surviving. So it's just like, let it fly. When it comes to the point where I'm going to have to rein it in, then I'm concerned. But right now,
I'm sure, there's also that aspect, especially since you're not medicated, of like masking and how exhausting it is to be masking, and how when you're exhausted from masking, how that's going to affect your cognitive abilities.
Which I feel like all my brain knows how to do is mask.
But like if you're just
been all mask on.
But you're not, if you're just kind of like letting it fly so that
and I'm also
able to like direct your attention to all these different things and not hyper focus on one thing. So it's probably allowing you to not get completely burnt out, like it would if you were trying to give 100% of your attention to each of those tasks.
Yeah, because it's also I think there's an element of, I want to say like even parenthood, where it's really just like resigning yourself to the fact that you don't have control over anything. Mm-hmm. So you just got to ride the wave, and well, I don't know what's going to happen. We just got to let it fly and see how it goes. And I've just had to apply that to everything. Yeah. And I'll circle back when I circle back. Might take me a bit, but that's all I can do.
Whatever. It'll be fine.
So yeah. And it's just one of those, like, you know, I try and give it a priority if I can. And if not, I'm going to have to delegate it because there's no guarantees. So I'm just kind of leaning into the ADHD right now.
Cool.
Because I would say now it is a superpower. I am used to my brain functioning kind of like this anyway. So I'm just trying to use my phone calendar and cut down on things that I forget. So I set reminders for myself, use my calendar, and hope for the best.
I have two reminder alarms on my phone. One is at 1:30 p.m. It's at 12:30 p.m. to take my afternoon meds and vitamins. And then there's a second alarm at 2:30 p.m. that says, no, seriously, please take your meds.
Did you forget? Yes. I saw a tip where somebody said when they take their meds, they flip the bottle over so that visually they know I took that. Because there's times where I'm like,
oh, I just use the pill
organizer. I know I thought about it.
I only know, like, if the little box is empty, that's how I know I took it.
I used to. And then that became a whole fucking task that I was like, I can't be bothered. And I have to take like more meds now. I take like Unisom to help me sleep. In addition to my normal meds that I take, Unisom, and I'm also taking Colace because that's how it is when you're pregnant. And I have to take baby aspirin twice a day. So it's like, there's just too many. So I've just gotten into the flow of like grabbing them. But I also have like 2 sets of them now. So I have like a set for my bed and a set downstairs so that I don't forget before I leave to take them. And then if I do forget when I get in bed, I've got everything right there. So I'm just working with the ADHD, which we've talked about a lot on the podcast, like not fighting it and just letting it be the way it is. Like, that's just how my brain is. Mm-hmm. And destigmatizing it, like talking to my team at work and being like, hey, there's a good chance I'm going to forget that. Can you please remind me? Or asking them multiple times, is there something I haven't gotten back to somebody on? Have I forgotten anything? Circle back with me. Somebody was like, I didn't want to like be rude, but there's like a draft in the shared mailbox that you haven't sent. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Like, and it was like no, I'm not taking offense to that. Remind me if you see it. Cause I'm only one person. Like I'm going to forget stuff. So just remind me. And I'll be like, oh shit, that's right. I forgot. And I'll take care of it. So I think there's that too, just being open about it and, you know, as good as it's going to get. Nobody's getting 100%. Somebody had to help me with a certified mailing envelope the other day, and we both laughed very hard because it took us multiple attempts. I was like, so between the two of us, there's like a whole brain.
To like fill out the green card?
It was the green card. It was printing the labels. I hadn't done it in like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Because I just don't ever have to do it.
Yeah.
And somebody from an insurance carrier was like, can you mail that back to me? And I was like, yeah, I can do that.
Can is a
strong word. So yeah, it's been, you know, because the pregnancy we're in is for real. It's definitely true. But I also have to remind myself, like, when you go through pregnancy, like, your brain is rewiring. It's like your brain undergoes structural changes. So this isn't me having to unpack those thoughts. This is not me being dumb. This is not me being lazy or just not paying attention or whatever. This is like, nope, your brain's just doing a lot of things. Your brain is an old phone that's overheating. That's what's happening. So yeah, I've just been trying to be nice to myself and, lean into the lack of focus, lean into the squirrel, the inner squirrel.
Lean into your inner squirrel. You heard it here first, folks. Well, happy Pride Month, and thank you for listening. We will be here again in 2 weeks, so make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to support us, you can either support us for free by leaving a 5-star review wherever you find us. If you want to support us for $5 a month, then you can go to patreon.com/thebarisAnkleHigh. And we are on Instagram and Threads at The Bar is Ankle High. We are on TikTok at Ankle High Pod. And that's all she wrote. See you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, because the bar is ankle high.
Nailed it.